I'm going to attempt to make some pesto this afternoon using some of our freshly picked basil from the garden. This recipe I've used several times and it's really good. It's called Best Pesto Recipe and it's so easy. The ingredients are 1/3 cup of walnuts. Walnuts are a less expensive choice to pine nuts. If you like to use pine nuts, you can use those instead. But walnuts do the trick and they taste amazing. So 1/3 cup of walnuts, which I've already put in my food processor, and 2 large roughly chopped cloves of garlic. So those two things I have in here. I'm going to mix those up for about 10 seconds. And that's about that. And then we're going to add to that 2 cups of gently packed fresh basil leaves, which we have right here. I picked off my indoor plants and my outdoor plants today. So we'll open this up. It's a little sticky. And we'll put in the basil. This recipe is so easy, but oh my goodness, it's so good. And it freezes well, or you can just store it in the fridge fresh. Okay, so we've got our basil leaves, salt and pepper. We're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, which I just spilt some here, and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. I'm going to scoop a little bit of this salt up here that I spilt all over. Here we go. You have to have salt and basil and pesto. And then we've got pepper. We are going to mix that up for another few seconds. And then to that, we are going to add 2/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil. So I've got my 1/3 cup here. Let's open this because I'm not that coordinated. If I don't, I'll probably spill it all over the place. It's a little sticky. So we'll add 2/3 cup of olive oil. And 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, which I've already measured out here. And we're going to put this together and we will run this for another about, I don't know, 1/2 minute maybe? Just until it looks like a paste. It's a little loud. Almost. I'm going to scoop that down a bit. It tends to stick to the sides because of the olive oil. So we'll push that down a wee bit. Lid back on. Do it again for another few seconds. Oh, a little bit at the bottom we need to mix. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to give it a little stir. can get the lid off. Oh goodness. There we are. Okay, I'm gonna give it a stir right at the bottom because some of the garlic is sitting there and it's not blending really well. I can see it, one little pocket of it. So you can see, just giving a little stir to make sure everything's blended well before I scoop it out. Some of the garlic and the walnuts are in there and haven't blended as well as I should. Okay, we'll give it another little go and then it should be ready. Looks good. And there we have it. Fresh pesto. You can eat it right away. You can use it on noodles. You can use it on pasta, or you can do like I do. I freeze it, and then I love to pull it out in the winter when I'm making spaghetti or some kind of casserole sometimes, or just noodles. It's just amazing. It's so good. It's so healthy, and it stores really well. You can just store it in the fridge for a few days, or you can put it in a little plastic container and freeze it. That's what I do. Anyway, hope you like that recipe. Again, a 1/3 cup of walnuts, 2 large roughly chopped cloves of garlic, 2 cups of gently packed fresh basil leaves, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon black pepper, 2/3 cup extra virgin olive oil, and 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Just put it in there. You add your garlic and your walnuts at the start. Give it a little bit of a mix in your food processor. And then add the basil, salt and pepper. Process again for just another few seconds. And then you're going to add your olive oil and your Parmesan cheese. Give it another blend until it looks like a paste, and you're done. And you've got yourself some amazing fresh pesto. Let's take a look at this. Pretty amazing. Hope you like the recipe.